find a way to win a hockey game, and certainly in the first half you didn't have your A game. What turned it around?
I think we finally got our legs under us. When your legs aren't going, your hands aren't very good. Our puck decisions in that first period were poor, to say the least, and that put us in a lot of trouble. I'll give them some credit. They stayed on top of us, didn't give us a lot of ice, and I thought, once we got, early part of that second period, we put some shifts together back to back that really helped us.
Everyone was talking about he wants character to complement skill, and the third period you had some goals, you grinded it out, you had a lot of blocks, and what did you think about the way you guys?
Yeah, I think the game looked a lot like the game on a few of the games on the road trip where we needed some big blocks. You look at them, Tuck had one and Mel had one off a face-off, and I thought we did a real good job, boxing some guys out around the front of the net. But I thought we played a really good third period. You start the period, we've got Krebs with the breakaway, we got Samuelson coming in back door that we don't score. Obviously we struggled, a little bit on our power play early in the game, but the power play gave us a big goal. We came off a trip where our power play was, close to 30% for 6 games, and it gave us a big one again tonight.
There's a lot going on in that game, a lot of craziness. What was the vibe after 2 periods where you guys had found a way to have a lead going into the third?
Yeah, I think you look at those last couple goals with the possession and the plays we made. The play Dahl's made to Tomer, and Tomer just changing the shooting angle. I think if Tomer shoots right away, I don't think he scores, but he just changed the angle, got another 4 or 5 feet, and put it off the far post. And then, the play on the Ostlund goal was a good possession inside the offensive zone. And then I thought we started the third period. I thought we played a real sound third period. We had a couple great looks to extend it. We didn't. We got caught on one long shift and paid the price with the goal against.
Describe the 6-on-4. Was it simply just desperation by your guys?
Yeah, we try to play that tighter. Don't get as aggressive. You're going to have to give up a shot, but let's say we're going to give it up from just outside the top of the circles, but don't get spread out where they can make seam plays. And then, I thought our goalie gave us a couple good saves.
Alex talked about how the team didn't get ahead of itself going into the third period, and too often it's happened. How important is that from today and from a perspective of the season to not get ahead of yourselves on a 4-game win streak?
Yeah, I think you look at it, at that last couple of minutes of the second period, and you want to come out in the third, but you still have to play. You don't want to back off, and I thought we were doing a good job of that. Didn't do anything crazy, didn't give up any big rush chances, and had the puck quite a bit. So I think there's a tendency sometimes when you got a lead that you sit back a little bit, but I didn't think we did.
Can you carry this over? Can you carry this over? How much do you need to carry this over in Saturday?
We need really to worry about one game.
Right.
Yeah, that's right, Saturday. So, get a good practice in tomorrow. It's always tough coming off the West Coast. We had a long night, and a bunch of guys been battling sickness that I think, should feel better.
I got about half a quick look on the one Philly goal that you were studying for the offside. What did you see that you didn't challenge?
Yeah, it's not offside. We've got to. I got to give our guys credit. They made us look real bad on the clock, but the one that I looked up at looked like offside for sure. Yeah, and that's when I said to Seth, "Are you something sure? It's not offside." And he said, "No, there's another view that it's definitely onside." And so we watched that view, and we even talked about it after the game. And yeah, definitely, it was a legal goal. It was one.
Your team's projected leads
It
at
was
Vancouver.
one where they wanted us to look bad, but
Lindy, your team's projected third period leads Vancouver, Seattle, and tonight against Philadelphia. What's been the common thread about your team in those third periods?
again, playing the right way, making them try to make the plays, making them put risk in their game instead of us inviting the risk. I think sometimes you can get invited into a rush game, trade rushes. You get a 4-on-2, then they all of a sudden get a 3-on-2. We've been good at staying away from from that type of situation where we give the opposition an opportunity to get back in it.
Are there updates on Connor and Tyson?
Yeah, Tyson, I don't know exactly. Just had a little bit of a problem that they're looking into. Connor's bad news. He's going to be like 6 to 8. He broke his leg. So.
How about Beck?
What's that?
How about Beck?
Beck's good. Yeah, blocked shot, but he's good. He went out after that. So.
Thank you.